Level 1. This is the reason your beliefs started forming long before you were old enough to question them. Where you were born predicts far more than your hometown. It strongly predicts the religion you follow, the language you speak, and many of the values you carry today, making birthplace a better predictor than your own reasoning for many of your earliest beliefs. That isn't an insult. It's one of the biggest findings from psychology, anthropology, and cultural evolution. You didn't enter the world with a political opinion, a religion, or the belief that money has value. Those ideas came later because people passed them to you through conversations, lessons, and everyday life. Researchers have found that humans begin life with natural abilities, like recognizing faces and finding patterns. Yet most of the beliefs that shape your life come from other people instead of instinct. Those beliefs didn't all come from the same place. Some came from your parents through vertical transmission, others spread through friends in horizontal transmission, while teachers, religious leaders, governments, books, television, and the internet all contributed through oblique transmission. Without noticing it, you've spent your entire life collecting ideas that other people collected before you. The surprising part is that this isn't a flaw. Borrowing beliefs helped humans become the most successful species on Earth. Because if every generation had to rediscover everything from the beginning, civilization would barely move forward. Which leads to a much bigger question, because humans didn't just inherit ideas. They built civilization by passing them forward. Level 2. Civilization didn't grow because every generation started over. It grew because almost nobody had to. Researchers call this cumulative culture, the process that lets each generation inherit language, farming, mathematics, medicine, laws, and customs instead of discovering them all again. Isaac Newton captured the idea perfectly. If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants. Those words apply to everyone. You didn't invent your first language, create the number system you use, or design most of the social rules that guide your life because they already existed long before you. For thousands of years, people kept adding knowledge while protecting what earlier generations had already learned, allowing each generation to begin a little farther ahead. Writing preserved knowledge, and in the 1440s, Johannes Gutenberg developed movable type printing in Europe, allowing ideas to spread farther, faster, and survive across generations without relying only on memory. Then something unexpected happened. Ideas themselves began spreading almost like living organisms, not because they were alive, but because people kept copying them. One scientist eventually gave those traveling ideas a name almost everyone recognizes today. Level 3. The year was 1976, and a single word quietly entered history long before it flooded the internet. Most people hear the word meme and think of funny pictures online. Richard Dawkins meant something much bigger when he introduced the term in The Selfish Gene, defining a meme as a unit of cultural transmission. Songs, ideas, catchphrases, clothing styles, and beliefs all fit that definition because they move from one mind to another through copying. Here's where it gets interesting. Dawkins suggested ideas spread through populations in ways that resemble evolution, but they don't always spread because they're true. Research shows some ideas spread because they trigger emotion, others because they're memorable, and many because they help people fit into a group. Research has repeatedly found that emotionally arousing content spreads more easily than neutral information, making those ideas more likely to travel without making them more accurate. When attention decides which ideas spread fastest instead of truth, your beliefs can keep changing without you even noticing. That leads directly to the world you live in today. Level 4. Ideas have never traveled faster than they do now. For most of history, beliefs spread through families, conversations, teachers, books, and local communities. Then the internet arrived, social media followed, and now AI systems increasingly influence which information appears in front of you first. Researchers continue studying how algorithms shape the spread of beliefs and misinformation, but they are not saying people lose the ability to think for themselves. Education, critical thinking, new evidence, and life experience can all reshape inherited beliefs. Influence is real, but it isn't permanent. Researchers describe humans as both learners and decision makers because culture shapes your thinking without completely controlling it. There's another layer. Language itself influences how people categorize, remember, and understand the world, a concept known as linguistic relativity. Most scientists agree language affects thought to some degree, even though stronger claims remain controversial. Which leaves one final question. If so many beliefs came from other people, what actually makes them yours? Level 5. The answer is simpler than it first appears. Borrowed doesn't mean fake, weak, or unimportant. It simply means you're human. Every civilization survives because knowledge lasts long enough to pass from one generation to the next. Every language, scientific discovery, mathematical idea, law, and tradition exists because someone learned it, someone borrowed it, and someone else improved it before passing it on. Researchers who study cultural evolution describe social learning as one of humanity's greatest evolutionary advantages, because without it, every generation would spend its life rediscovering what the previous one already knew. Not every borrowed belief deserves to stay. Researchers also explain that education, evidence, and critical thinking allow people to examine inherited beliefs, keeping some and replacing others. Some ideas survive because they help people understand reality. Others survive because they're memorable or emotionally powerful. Questioning your beliefs isn't rejecting human culture. It's participating in the same process that has shaped civilization for thousands of years. Every generation edits what it inherits. Some ideas disappear, others grow stronger, and new ones take their place. Now return to the question that opened this story. What if everything you believe is borrowed? Based on what researchers know today, much of it probably is. Your language, many of your values, many of your traditions, and countless everyday assumptions reached you only after passing through other people long before you were born. The story doesn't end there. Every borrowed belief eventually reaches someone who decides what happens next. This time, that person is you.